There are moments in life when our heart feels heavy, not because of what is happening now, but because of what we are still holding inside. Old pain, old memories, old regrets, old fears. We try to move forward, but something pulls us back. We smile, but inside we feel tired. We want peace, but our mind keeps returning to the past. This audiobook is about learning the art of letting go. Letting go does not mean forgetting. It does not mean weakness. It means choosing peace over pain. In this journey, you will learn how to release emotional weight, forgive gently, accept change, and reconnect with yourself. Each chapter is a small step toward freedom. Take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and let us begin this healing journey together. Chapter 1. Why letting go is so hard. Letting go is one of the hardest things a human heart can do. We hear people say, "Just move on," but inside we feel confused. If it were so easy, why does the pain stay so long? The truth is simple. We do not hold on to pain on purpose. Pain holds on to us. Every experience we live creates an emotional mark. Happy moments leave warmth. Painful moments leave wounds. And when something hurts deeply, our mind tries to protect us by remembering it. Your brain says, "Do not forget this. It might hurt you again." So it keeps replaying the memory, again and again. This is why letting go feels scary. We believe that if we let go, we will lose control. We think pain keeps us safe, but pain does not protect us. It only keeps us stuck. Another reason letting go is hard is attachment. We attach meaning to people, moments, and outcomes. We say, "This person was my happiness," or "This dream was my future." When something ends, it feels like a part of us ends too. So we hold on, not to the pain, but to the hope that things might return to how they were. But life moves forward, and when we stay in the past, we feel left behind. Letting go also feels like weakness. Some people think forgiving means losing. They think releasing anger means accepting injustice. But letting go is not saying, "What happened was okay." It is saying, "I choose peace over pain." Holding on keeps wounds open. Letting go allows healing to begin. Think about a wound on your skin. If you keep touching it, it never heals. But if you give it air and time, the body repairs itself. Your heart works the same way. You do not need to force yourself to forget. You do not need to rush. Letting go is a gentle process. It starts with understanding that pain was part of your journey, but it does not have to be your destination. In this moment, you are safe. You are breathing. You are alive. And that means you can choose a new direction. Not today, not all at once. Just one small step. And that step begins here. Chapter 2. The weight you carry inside. Many people move through life without realizing how much emotional weight they are carrying. They wake up, work, talk, smile, and continue their routine, yet deep inside they feel tired, heavy, and restless. This tiredness is not always physical. Often, it comes from emotions that were never released. Unexpressed sadness, hidden anger, unspoken disappointment, and unresolved memories slowly build up inside the heart. Over time, these emotions become a silent burden that follows us everywhere. We may not see it, but we feel it in our thoughts, our mood, and even our body. This is why some people feel exhausted even after resting, or anxious without a clear reason. Emotional weight forms when we keep holding on to moments that hurt us. A painful conversation, a broken promise, a lost opportunity, or a relationship that ended without closure can stay alive in the mind for years. The mind replays these moments again and again, trying to understand what went wrong or what could have been different. While this may feel natural, it slowly drains our energy. Each memory becomes like a stone added to a bag we carry every day. At first, the bag feels light, but as time passes, it becomes heavier, and walking forward becomes harder. This emotional burden affects how we see the world. When the heart is heavy, joy feels distant, and peace feels unfamiliar. Small problems feel bigger, and small happiness feels less meaningful. We may become easily irritated, silent, or emotionally distant from others. Some people feel pressure in their chest, tension in their shoulders, or constant headaches without realizing that their body is responding to emotional stress. The body remembers what the mind refuses to release. Letting go begins when we acknowledge this weight honestly. We do not need to blame ourselves for carrying it. We carried it because we cared, because we hoped, and because we tried. But there comes a moment when we must ask ourselves an important question. Is this weight helping me, or is it hurting me? The answer is often clear. Holding on to emotional pain does not change the past, but it deeply affects the present. When you allow yourself to gently put this weight down, you create space inside. Space for calmness, space for clarity, space for healing. You do not lose your strength by releasing emotional pain. You regain it, and with a lighter heart, moving forward becomes possible again. Chapter 3. Accepting what you cannot control. One of the greatest sources of emotional pain is the desire to control what is no longer in our hands. We replay situations in our mind, wishing we had spoken differently, acted faster, or made another choice. We imagine alternate endings and hold on to the belief that if we think long enough, we can somehow change what already happened. But life does not move backward, and the past does not respond to our regrets. When we resist this truth, our mind stays trapped in a battle it can never win, and this resistance slowly turns into frustration, sadness, and inner tension. Acceptance does not mean approval. It does not mean saying that what happened was fair or right. Acceptance simply means recognizing reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. Many people confuse acceptance with weakness, but in truth, acceptance requires great inner strength. It takes courage to look at a situation and say, "This happened, and I cannot change it." When we stop fighting reality, we stop draining our emotional energy. The mind becomes quieter, and the heart begins to soften. Trying to control the uncontrollable keeps us emotionally stuck. We may hold on to people who have already changed, or dreams that no longer fit our life. We may wait for apologies that never come, or closure that never arrives. This waiting creates pain because we place our peace in someone else's hands. The moment we accept that we cannot control others, their choices, or the past, we take our power back. Control over everything is an illusion, but control over our response is always possible. Acceptance opens the door to letting go. When you accept a loss, you stop arguing with life. When you accept an ending, you stop chasing explanations. Slowly, the mind learns to rest. This does not happen overnight. Acceptance comes in layers. Some days you feel strong, and other days the pain returns. This is normal. Healing is not a straight path, but a gentle process. As you practice acceptance, you begin to notice a shift inside. You feel less resistance and more calm. You start living in the present instead of reliving the past. You understand that peace does not come from changing what happened, but from changing how you carry it. Acceptance frees you from endless mental struggle and allows your heart to move forward with lightness, clarity, and quiet strength. Chapter 4. Releasing the Past Gently. The past has a powerful way of staying alive in our minds. Even when years have passed, certain memories can still feel fresh, as if they happened yesterday. This happens because emotions do not follow time the way the clock does. When something touches us deeply, the feeling remains until it is fully understood and released. Many people try to push the past away or pretend it does not matter, but the more we resist it, the stronger it returns. True healing does not come from force. It comes from gentleness. Releasing the past does not mean erasing memories or denying what you felt. It means allowing yourself to remember without suffering. When you revisit the past with kindness instead of judgment, the emotional charge slowly loses its power. You begin to see events more clearly, not through pain, but through understanding. What once felt unbearable becomes a lesson, and what once felt like a loss becomes a part of your growth. Holding on to the past often feels safer than letting it go. The pain is familiar, and familiarity can feel comfortable, even when it hurts. Letting go feels uncertain, because it means stepping into the unknown. Unknown also holds possibility. It holds peace, new beginnings, and emotional freedom. When you gently release the past, you make space for the present moment to breathe. Many people carry guilt for things they could not change or mistakes they made long ago. They punish themselves repeatedly, believing they deserve the pain. But growth comes from learning, not self-blame. You did the best you could with the understanding you had at that time. When you accept this truth, forgiveness begins naturally, first toward yourself, and then toward others. Releasing the past is a process, not a decision made in one moment. Some days you feel light, and other days old memories return. This does not mean you are failing. It means you are human. Each time you choose not to hold on, even for a moment, you weaken the past's control over your present. As you practice gentle release, your heart begins to feel softer and more open. You stop living behind you and start living where you are. The past becomes a chapter, not the whole story. And in this new space, healing quietly continues, one peaceful breath at a time. Chapter 5. Forgiveness is for your freedom. Forgiveness is often misunderstood. Many people believe that forgiving means excusing hurtful behavior or saying that the pain did not matter. Because of this belief, they hold on to anger, thinking it protects their dignity or strength. But anger does not protect the heart. It quietly poisons it. Forgiveness is not about the other person. It is about freeing yourself from the emotional prison that pain creates inside you. When you hold on to resentment, the mind keeps returning to the same memory. The words, the actions, and the emotions replay again and again, keeping the wound open. The other person may have moved on, but you remain emotionally tied to the moment. This connection drains your energy and steals your peace. Forgiveness cuts this invisible rope. It releases you from carrying a story that no longer serves your healing. Forgiving does not require an apology. Many people wait for closure, explanations, or regret from others, but peace should not depend on someone else's behavior. Forgiveness is a personal decision to stop suffering. It is the moment you say, "I no longer allow this pain to control my inner world." This choice does not make you weak. It shows deep emotional maturity and strength. Self-forgiveness is just as important as forgiving others. Many people are hardest on themselves. They replay mistakes, missed chances, and wrong decisions, speaking to themselves with harsh words they would never say to anyone else. Holding on to self-blame keeps the heart heavy and blocks healing. When you forgive yourself, you accept that growth comes through experience, not perfection. You learn, you evolve, and you move forward. Forgiveness is a process, not a single act. Some days you feel calm, and other days the hurt returns. This is normal. Each time, you choose understanding over anger. You take another step toward freedom. Slowly, the emotional charge fades, and the memory loses its power. As forgiveness settles in, you begin to feel lighter. Your thoughts become clearer, and your emotions feel less intense. You regain control over your inner peace. Forgiveness does not change the past, but it completely transforms how you live in the present. And in that transformation, true emotional healing begins. Chapter 6. Letting Go of Expectations. Expectations shape how we experience life. We expect people to understand us, situations to turn out a certain way, and life to follow the plans we carefully create in our mind. When these expectations are met, we feel satisfied. But when they are not, disappointment appears. Much of our emotional pain does not come from what happens, but from what we expected to happen. Holding tightly to expectations often leads to frustration, resentment, and a constant feeling of being let down. We form expectations because they give us a sense of control. We believe that if we plan enough or hope strongly enough, life will follow our design. But life has its own rhythm. People change, circumstances shift, and outcomes unfold in ways we cannot always predict. When reality does not match our expectations, the heart resists, and that resistance becomes suffering. Letting go of expectations does not mean giving up on dreams. It means releasing the rigid attachment to specific outcomes. Expectations placed on others can damage relationships. When we expect people to behave exactly as we want, we stop seeing them for who they truly are. We may feel hurt when they fail to meet our emotional needs, even if they never promise to do so. This creates silent anger and emotional distance. When expectations are softened, understanding grows. Relationships become lighter, more honest, and more peaceful. Expectations placed on yourself can be even more harmful. You may expect yourself to always be strong, successful, or emotionally perfect. When you fall short, you judge yourself harshly. This inner pressure creates stress and self-doubt. Letting go of unrealistic self-expectations allows compassion to replace criticism. You learn to accept yourself as a growing human being, not a finished product. When you release expectations, you begin to experience life as it is, not as it should be. You respond instead of reacting. You adapt instead of resisting. This shift brings emotional freedom because your happiness no longer depends on fixed conditions. You become open to unexpected joy and new possibilities. Letting go of expectations does not make life empty. It makes it spacious. In that space, peace has room to enter, and your heart learns to flow with life rather than struggle against it. Chapter 7. Learning to live in the present. One of the greatest challenges in letting go is learning how to stay present. The mind naturally travels between the past and the future. It revisits old memories, and imagines what might happen next. While this ability helps us learn and plan, it can also steal our peace when we live there too often. When we are stuck in the past, we feel regret and sadness. When we are lost in the future, we feel worry and fear. The present moment is the only place where peace truly exists. Living in the present does not mean forgetting the past or ignoring the future. It means not allowing them to control your emotions right now. The present moment is where your life is actually happening. Your breath, your surroundings, and your awareness all exist here. When you bring your attention back to the now, the mind begins to slow down. The constant noise of thoughts becomes quieter, and your heart feels more grounded. Many people struggle to stay present because silence feels uncomfortable. When the mind becomes quiet, emotions that were buried may rise to the surface. This can feel frightening at first, but these emotions appear not to harm you, but to be healed. When you allow yourself to feel without running away, the emotions naturally soften and pass. Presence gives you the strength to face your inner world with calm awareness. Simple practices can help you return to the present. Paying attention to your breathing, noticing the feeling of your feet on the ground, or observing sounds around you can gently pull your mind back from overthinking. These small moments of awareness build a habit of presence. Over time, you begin to respond to life instead of reacting automatically. When you live in the present, you stop carrying unnecessary emotional weight. You are no longer reliving old pain or worrying about imagined problems. You begin to experience life with clarity and openness. Even ordinary moments feel meaningful because you are fully there to experience them. Presence is a powerful form of letting go. It releases the grip of past regrets and future fears. It reminds you that in this moment, you are safe, alive, and capable. And as you return to the present again and again, peace slowly becomes a natural part of your life. Chapter 8. Embracing Change Without Fear. Change is the only constant in life, yet it is often the hardest thing for people to accept. From childhood, we are taught to seek stability and predictability. We build routines, habits, and relationships that make us feel safe. But life does not stop. Seasons change, people change, circumstances change, and sometimes it happens suddenly. When change arrives, the mind often resists. Fear rises. We worry about losing control, losing comfort, or losing what we love. But resisting change only prolongs suffering. Embracing change begins with understanding that growth is impossible without it. Every transition, every ending, and every new beginning is part of the journey that shapes us. Holding tightly to what once was creates emotional stagnation. The past may be familiar, but familiarity is not always comfort. It can be a trap. By accepting that life moves forward, you create space for new experiences and opportunities to enter. Fear of change often comes from attachment. We attach to people, roles, identities, and expectations. When these attachments shift, we feel uncertain. But detaching does not mean caring less. It means understanding that nothing in life is permanent. People evolve, situations shift, and even our own desires change. Learning to flow with life reduces anxiety and increases resilience. Change also offers freedom. When we release rigid control over outcomes, life becomes less stressful. Each challenge becomes a lesson, each ending becomes a chance for renewal, and each unexpected turn becomes an opportunity for growth. Instead of fearing the unknown, you begin to approach it with curiosity and courage. Practical steps can help in embracing change. Acknowledge your emotions without judgment. Focus on what you can control, and let go of what you cannot. Reflect on past experiences where change eventually brought positive results. This builds trust in your ability to adapt and thrive. Embracing change does not mean that life is easy or predictable. It means that you are willing to meet life as it is, without unnecessary resistance. When you accept change, you let go of fear, and your heart opens to possibility. In this openness, peace, growth, and freedom naturally emerge, allowing you to move forward with courage and clarity. Chapter 9. Cultivating Inner Peace. Inner peace is not something we find outside ourselves. It is not hidden in places, people, or possessions. True peace begins within. Yet, many people spend their lives searching for calm in the world around them. They hope that a promotion, a relationship, or a perfect situation will bring relief. When these external things do not provide lasting calm, frustration grows. Inner peace is a skill, a practice, and a mindset. It is the result of learning to navigate life's ups and downs with balance and clarity. Cultivating inner peace begins with awareness. Notice your thoughts without judgment. Observe emotions without getting trapped in them. When a difficult feeling arises, do not fight it or suppress it. Instead, acknowledge it and let it pass naturally, like a cloud moving across the sky. Resistance creates tension, but acceptance creates ease. This practice trains the mind to respond rather than react. Another essential step is simplifying your inner world. Release unnecessary worries, self-critical thoughts, and mental clutter. Emotional baggage, resentment, and unrealistic expectations create turbulence in the mind. By consciously letting go of what you cannot control, you lighten your inner load. This does not mean you become passive. It means you choose where to invest your energy wisely. Meditation, mindful breathing, and quiet reflection are powerful tools for building calm. Even a few minutes each day can reduce stress and increase clarity. When you focus on your breath or simply observe the present moment, you reconnect with yourself. Over time, peace becomes more accessible, even in challenging situations. Gratitude and compassion also nurture inner peace. By appreciating small joys and showing kindness to yourself and others, your mind becomes softer and more content. Conflict loses its grip, and you begin to see life from a broader perspective. Inner peace does not eliminate problems, but it allows you to face them with calmness, confidence, and emotional stability. As you cultivate inner peace, letting go becomes easier. The mind and heart are no longer ruled by fear, anger, or regret. Instead, they operate from a place of balance and wisdom. Inner peace is the foundation that supports freedom, joy, and emotional resilience. It is the gentle strength that allows you to move through life with grace and clarity. Chapter 10. Freedom through letting go. Freedom is the ultimate reward of letting go. It is not the freedom to control everything around you, but the freedom to live without being chained to past pain, regrets, or expectations. Emotional freedom comes when the heart stops resisting reality and the mind stops clinging to what cannot be changed. It is a quiet strength that allows you to move forward with clarity, lightness, and courage. Those who let go discover that life is not about avoiding pain, but about choosing peace despite it. Letting go is not a single act. It is a journey. Each chapter of this journey teaches patience, self-awareness, and compassion. You learn to release grudges and forgive, not for anyone else, but for yourself. You learn to accept what you cannot control, to release unrealistic expectations, and to embrace change as a natural part of life. You learn to be present, to breathe deeply, and to find calm in the chaos. Every small step toward letting go accumulates, creating a profound sense of freedom. Freedom also requires courage. Many people fear letting go because it feels like giving up or losing a part of themselves. But true courage is not about holding on. It is about facing your emotions honestly, embracing uncertainty, and trusting that life will unfold as it should. The more you practice letting go, the more you realize that peace has always been within you. It was only blocked by resistance and attachment. Living with freedom transforms your daily life. You respond to challenges with balance instead of reacting with tension. You cherish relationships without clinging to them. You pursue dreams without fear of failure. And most importantly, you carry a heart that is lighter, calmer, and more open to life's possibilities. Letting go does not erase your story. It does not remove the lessons, the love, or the memories. Instead, it allows you to live fully in the present, with gratitude for the past and hope for the future. This is the essence of emotional freedom: a heart unburdened, a mind at ease, and a life lived with peace and joy. Final takeaway: unlock your inner freedom. True freedom begins the moment you let go. Life often teaches us through challenges, heartbreak, and change, yet we tend to cling tightly, sometimes to pain, sometimes to regret, and sometimes to who we think we are. Holding on may feel familiar, but it quietly burdens the heart and clouds the mind. Letting go is not forgetting, giving up, or pretending nothing happened. It is the conscious choice to release what no longer serves you and to step forward with courage, clarity, and peace. Through this audiobook, you've discovered how to face emotional weight, forgive without expectation, accept what you cannot control, and embrace change without fear. You've learned to live in the present, cultivate inner calm, and create space for joy, growth, and resilience. Every small act of letting go brings you closer to living fully and freely. At Achievefly English, our goal is to help you not only improve your English, but also transform your mind and heart. Motivational audiobooks like this guide you to think clearly, feel deeply, and grow emotionally, all while learning and enjoying every step of the journey. Breathe deeply, release gently, and allow yourself to step into life fully. Freedom, peace, and inner strength are waiting. Achievefly English. Learn, grow, and heal with every story.